Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger, and when the day began, I wondered why the Cincinnati Bengals could be favored over the Atlanta Falcons when the Falcons were driving for a playoff spot. And now we all know the Bengals are a better football team than the Falcons, at least in Cincinnati on this Sunday. 23-7 Cincinnati. Green Bay and Tampa Bay inside at 2 minutes. The Packers keep their playoff hopes very much alive because the Vikes may lose. Now, check the next score. Los Angeles 17, Giants 10 in the fourth. Jane, a lot of talk about fans burning tickets, the disgruntled Giant fans. What do you have on that today?
Well, Brent, there were only 100 tickets actually burned outside the stadium, but I guess some of the other fans decided to show their disappointment with the Giants in another way. We had 13,996 no-shows at the stadium. 62,000 people did show up out of 76,000 tickets that were sold.
All right, Jane, and the other team in New York is beginning to show some life, too, because they lead Baltimore right now, 24-16 in the fourth. And what happened to the Washington Redskins? Being shut out by Miami, 16-0. Detroit and St. Louis, 7-0 at the half. The Cardinals are up by a touchdown. And in the key game from a playoff standpoint, it is now the Eagles 27, Minnesota 14 at the half. And San Francisco and New Orleans, 17-10. The Saints ahead. They're midway through the third quarter already in that game. Buffalo and Kansas City are tied at 7 in the third. All right, let's go live right now to Giant Stadium. We will show you a third down for the LA Rams. 17-10. The Rams have just recovered a fumble. Now they are driving again inside the 20. This is live. Hayden's without McCutcheon. He's without Capoletti. Good blocking. And Jesse is the receiver on that side. Very close to a first down. They will get a first down. Now wait, they say he didn't control the ball, and Jesse's upset. Throw the flag, Irv Cross. March off unsportsmanlike conduct against Jesse.
You can understand why he might be upset. That looked like a clean catch. Unless there was a penalty somewhere else along the line, there might be some. We'll see right now what the referee decides. He certainly caught the ball.
Well, you get a good angle of it right here, Irv.
Because to go out of the picture, from what we can see, he has the ball. He's under control now. The question is, did he have it when he hit the ground? Maybe he was juggling the ball.
Well, he could have lost it from that side. We weren't looking. So here's Corral to attempt a field goal. 17-10. This would put the Rams in command by 10. And they've got it. So they've got about 4 minutes to play now in the Meadowlands. And we can show you some action from earlier in the game. The Rams found themselves in a struggle after they were moving quickly in the first half. The Giants were able to mount a rally and climb right back into the game. Right here, Pisarcik's pass is deflected. Youngblood's got it for L.A., and he battles his way down to the 2-yard line of the Giants, setting up a touchdown run by Cullen Bryant. Youngblood enjoying a tremendous season for a linebacker this year. Here's Bryant, swing right. Charlie Young on a block on that side. It was 10-0 Rams. But then Pisarcik hit Shirk for the touchdown, 10-7. It is now 20-10, 3 minutes and 7 seconds to go. And here is Dean. Sideline picked off by Thomas. He dashed in for the Rams. And that really was the critical touchdown there, Irv.
Brett, I'm watching this Atlanta Falcons-Cincinnati Bengal game, folks, and the score late in the fourth quarter is Cincinnati 30, Atlanta 7. Pete Johnson just rambled 53 yards for a touchdown, and this is second quarter action right here. The Steve Bartkowski, number 10 for the Falcons, puts his club in position to score as he hits Wallace Francis. A few plays later, Ricky Patton does the rest from the 5-yard line, goes in, and they take a 7-3 lead. Kenny Anderson gets his club rolling as he hits number 82, Billy Brooks, and Brooks crosses the middle here, and as he does, finally plows his way upfield down to the 5-yard line, and Pete Johnson, the big fullback, does the rest. A couple of plays later, and Cincinnati takes a 10-7 lead. Now, Bartkowski tried to get his club back by throwing the ball, but he had some trouble. His first pass, number 32, Scott Perry, picks off, and he goes all the way the other way, and Cincinnati scores again. The score at this point, 16-7. The third quarter, Bartkowski gets the ball again, tries to go through the air. He does, but picked off by Dick Geron this time. He goes the other way. Cincinnati 23-7, and just a few minutes ago, Pete Johnson rambled 53 yards for another score, and it's Cincinnati 30, Atlanta 7.
Irv, at least for the time being, the Green Bay Packers are going to be in first in the NFC Central. I say for the time being because the Vikings are still out. The Packers are inside of a minute right now. They lead the Buccaneers by a score of 17-7, so they would have one more victory. You're watching Turdell Middleton barge to the 10-yard line. Whitehurst then threw the touchdown pass to rookie James Lofton from Stanford. It was 7-0. George Ragsdale got the Bucs on the board with this touchdown run. It was 10-7. Now a half minute left in this game. Here is Whitehurst backing up and again looking for Lofton. Interference in the end zone. First down on the 1. And again, it is 17-7 in the 4th. And, of course, the Eagles are in command against the Vikes, sir.
It's good news for Philadelphia Eagles fans. 27-14 at halftime. And, of course, in a day when you have a lot of snow and ice and the weather's cold, you think that both clubs will keep the ball on the ground. Not so. You've watched it and you've seen it, so you can believe it. Fran Tarkenton early in the ball game gets his club going through the air. Goes to Sammy White for a touchdown, a 63-yard drive. But Ron Jaworski has his own version of how to score quickly. He goes to Harold Carmichael, a score for the Eagles, and the score is tied 7-7. Carmichael's now caught passes, at least one pass in 94 consecutive games. Tarkenton comes back through the air. Sammy Wright, touchdown, 14-7 Minnesota. But this time, Jaworski goes to his big target, Harold Carmichael, another touchdown, 14-14. Keeping the ball on the ground, the Eagles flip out to Wilbert Montgomery. He goes off his right tackle, a 36-yard touchdown, and the Eagles take a 21-14 lead. Jaworski gets his club going late in the second quarter with a pass, a quick post here to Charlie Homeboy Smith. He goes in, touchdown, the score, 27-14 at halftime, Philadelphia.
And I think Don Criqui was right. It was the longest half of the year. And the NFL Today will continue on CBS right after these messages from your local stations.
Jackson's a young kid with a grown-up problem, and it takes Coach Reeves and the whole team to straighten him out. The White Shadows, starring Ken Howard, tomorrow at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on CBS.
Halfway through the 14th week of the season, 20 teams still remain in contention for the NFL playoffs. Professor Irwin Corey stopped by the NFL today, earlier in the morning, and made it perfectly clear, I think, as to exactly which two teams would meet in Super Bowl 13. Professor.
Last year, we had a heck of a time trying to figure out who was going to be the wild card team from the NFC and the AFC. To compound matters, now we've got two wild cards from the AFC and the NFC. Well, who best to straighten us out on this than Professor Corey? Professor Corey.
We feel that we can explain this confusion only in the simplest fashion. The AFC and the NFC.
Professor,
yes.
Professor, we're going into the 14th week of the season. 20 of the 28 teams are eligible for a playoff spot. Which two are going to the Super Bowl?
The two teams that will go to the Super Bowl will represent the areas that they come from. We cannot take any outsiders. It will only be within the confines of the latitude and longitude.
Well, does it matter which latitude or longitude they're in?
It's based only on two specific ingredients. The team garnishing the most points within the given framework of their particular field will represent that area.
Does that mean Oakland will represent the West?
Oakland will represent, no, Oakland will represent the central part. See, the West goes to the Central, and the Central goes to East, and the East goes to where the West might have been. They say out West, it's different.
Oh, I see.
Like the Rams will be known as the Anaheim Rams, different from L.A. Rams, where they only have 2 horns, where the other Rams have 3. Now, here we find out Oakland 8-5. Does that necessarily mean that Oakland will represent the West? It means they might primarily be in contention. But the AFC and the NFC, comprising the AFL or the NFL, must, within the guidelines, accept the responsibility.
Which two teams do you think will go to the Super Bowl? We have to know.
Well, when you say we have to know, you're acting like a child. For what purpose? What purpose must one know? The amusement is based on the fact that we are in a quandary, that we anticipate with anxiety the hope and the aspirations of those who seem to diligently get into there. Now, we find that the gridiron itself, which is comprised of 12 different stripes, indicating that there must have at least been something to do with...
Professor, the lady has a question.
Professor Corey, that's the whole basis of the Super Bowl. We have to have two teams
Well,
we don't have a
no,
Super
this
Bowl
is not
game.
written. Because to have two teams would only indicate that these are the only adversaries that are left within 28 of those
That's
who have
right.
accepted the responsibility to go out there and fight, you know, do or die. You know that most of these teams
Professor
have
Corey,
guts.
thank you very much.
They
That
have a feeling
straightens
that
this out
they
for
have
all of us.
stick-to-itiveness,
Professor Corey, we
and they are
appreciate
a
it.
scrappy
Thank you.
little group. They have come from
Thank
the
you very
past,
much. Thank
indicating that they must
Thank
show
you.
some signs
you.
of virility on their
Nice.
own part.
It straightens
We
it out.
cannot
It's all
accept without
perfectly clear.
diligency
Thank
those
you.
who represent the East. The East is one of the most greatest parts.
Cotton keeps America comfortable.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
I got you some new dress shirts because of the business trip.
Hey, nice.
They're made of a cotton-rich fabric called Natural Blend. The Natural by Manhattan. 60% cotton. Extra cotton, extra comfort.
Really comfortable.
Plus, they're durable press. You won't even have to iron them.
Thanks, honey. Have a good trip. If you're looking for comfort, look for the seal of cotton. The more cotton, the better you feel.
Radio Shack is loaded with exciting, sensible, low-cost gifts, like the Science Fair 150-in-1 electronic project kit. Kids can learn about electronics by building safe battery-operated radios, transmitters, computer circuits, electronic sound effects, even LED digital readouts. They get 150 different gifts they can enjoy long after Christmas is over. The gift-priced Science Fair kit, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. The score at the half here at Metropolitan Stadium, Bloomington, Minnesota. Philadelphia Eagles, an underdog team coming in 27. Minnesota Vikings, 14. I'm Don Cricky with Sonny Jurgensen. And Sonny, you were commenting how the Eagles are looking better every week. They are. Do you think the Vikings can get back in this game?
I think so, with conditions the way they are, and you've seen how open the receivers have been on both teams. And as much as Tarkington puts the ball up, I think they have the capabilities of coming back.
But the Eagles are a very interesting story. As you pointed out at the outset, Dick Vermeil, their coach, said he's not even sure if they're a playoff caliber team. I got to think he's thinking they are right now. I think everybody that's watched the Eagles over these past few weeks, they're looking for their 5th straight victory, has to really consider this team one of the better clubs in the entire league right now.
It's improving, which is a good thing about it, and I think he likes what he sees. And talking to their coaches, they see improvement every week, and I think the major improvement in their entire football team has to be Ron Jaworski's play.
And of course, a very important final in for Viking fans from Tampa Bay. Green Bay Packers 17, the Buccaneers 7, so depending on the outcome of this game, unless the Vikings get back in it, there'll be a game behind the Packers in the NFC Central Division. A lot of pressure right now on the Vikings to get back in this, and we're ready now for the start of the second half as you look at the first half statistics. For Philadelphia with almost 300 yards total offense. Very impressive.
You see the Vikings' inability to run, only 42 yards rushing in the first half. That's an interesting stat, isn't it?
It is. Surprised me. The Eagles leading the league in ball control throughout the course of the game. Back deep for Philadelphia. Louis Giamona is back, and he's getting a couple hopper coming back and gets by him. Little Louis got to pick it up. He's working. Gets a couple of blocks, and then he's knocked down as the Vikings come out firing.
On the return.
Fred McNeil down to make a big special teams hit for Minnesota. And the Eagles go on offense, 1st and 10 to open the third quarter. Sonny?
And backed up, too. That was an opportunity to cut that ball off and be in much better field position. It's probably the worst possession they've had backed up today. Back on about the 12-yard line. See what changes they made in their game plan and any alterations in it.
Well, of course, the Eagles with a 13-point lead would like to just keep those chain markers moving. Run the ball if they can. Keep the clock going. They go to the run, and Wilbert Montgomery takes it out across the 10-yard line, close to the 14. The strong safety, Phil Wise, knocked him down. There is a final in from RFK Stadium, Washington. The Miami Dolphins shutting out the troubled Washington Redskins 16-0, as the Redskins have now lost 6 of their last 8 football games.
What happened to the offense?
For the Eagles at their 15.
No points at all today.
First time they've been shut out in a long time.
2nd down and 8 now for Jaworski and the Eagle offense. Mike Hogan running hard, and he gets it out to the 17-yard line. And I'm sure, Sonny, that in the locker room, word came to the Vikings that the Green Bay Packers have won. So the Vikings know that a good part of their season's on the line, maybe all of it, with the outcome of this game today. Still have 2 to play, both clubs after this, and they both have tough scheduling. Vikings on the road twice. That's Detroit at Oakland.
And Green Bay has L.A.
Here's another final. The New York Jets prevail over the Baltimore Colts 24-16. Jets keeping their playoff hopes alive with an 8-6 record. Up the middle, Wilbert Montgomery runs hard. He had to advance the ball to about the 22-yard line. Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker, knocked him down. It'll be close to a first down. They might measure. Montgomery and Hogan have done all the ball carrying for Philadelphia in this game. The offensive lineman for the Eagles, Stan Walters, is the left tackle. Jerry Sizemore, the right tackle. Tom Lucan starting for Wade Key at left guard. Woody Peoples, the right guard. Guy Morris is the center. Osborne, the tight end. The wide receivers, Carmichael and Smith.
That's an Eagle first down at their 22.
The Eagles get it.
Just enough. And that's exactly what they want to do. They want to keep that clock moving. They can grind it out and not have to put it up.
First and 10 for the Eagles at their 22.
Viking defenders dig in now, looking to get the football back. The pitch back, Montgomery. Met chin high on a driving tackle, and Wilbert Montgomery got very little, if anything at all, as he advanced the ball right back to the line of scrimmage at the 22. First man up to meet him was the strong safety, Phil Wise.
Hannon and Wise on the tackle.
Kansas City holding to a 4-point lead over Buffalo in the 4th quarter.
Montgomery's got about 82 yards now and 16 carries.
Gives him 982 for the season. Charlie Smith comes wide to the left. On the right flank, Harold Carmichael, and Ken Payne is also out there. Handoff goes to Hogan. Straight ahead, Hogan gets the ball to the 29-yard line.
Hogan, the ball carrier.
So the Eagles, with a 13-point lead, come out running the football at Minnesota to open the 3rd quarter. It's 27-14 the score. With 12:30 left to play in the quarter. Again, Phil Wise, a hard tackling strong safety, was on the play, along with James White. Across the defensive front of the Vikings, Carl Eller, Doug Sutherland, James White, and Jim Marshall. Blair, Seaman, and Neal back the line. John Turner, a rookie, is now at the left corner. Bob Bryant at the right corner, so Jaworski might be looking at that rookie. He throws the ball out, incomplete. Timing pattern, they tried to go to the tight end. Osborne swinging out.
They had him open. He just missed him. Threw it out in front of him a little bit. Have to kick it away.
Number 87.
Kevin Miller drops back deep. There he is, number 87, first-year player, standing back at his 35-yard line. Michelle, the Eagle punter, back at his 15, as the yard lines are being obliterated now by the continuing snow that's fallen. Here is Miller, looking. Finds a little crack, puts the ball ahead to the 35, 36-yard line, and there the Vikings go on offense, 1st and 10. So Fran Tarkenton and the Minnesota Vikings trailing 27-14 with word in from Tampa Bay that Green Bay has won, come out for the first time with the ball in the 3rd quarter.
By the time this day is done, you'll turn a mountain of canvas and a truckload of living dynamite into one of the world's oldest fantasies, the circus. Now comes Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
You've got the time. We've got the beer, Miller Beer.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me in one magnificent flying machine, the 79 Thunderbird. I love its luxurious cockpit. Fly with a V8 engine.
Power steering and power brakes, all standard. Glide in great style with wrap-over roof and opera windows at a down-to-earth sticker price.
79 Thunderbird. What a way to fly at your Ford dealers.
Don't miss the thrilling Hollywood stunt competition on the new-look CBS Sports Spectacular starting January 6th. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
We are back at Metropolitan Stadium. The big Viking trying to get this crowd and the football team moving as they trail the Eagles 27-14. Foreman runs, gets the ball to the 40. Chuck Foreman ahead for a 4-yard gain. On the stop for the Philadelphia Eagles. Inside linebacker Bill Berge and the middle guard Charlie Johnson. Dennis Harrison, 68 is the left end. Johnson, the middle guard. 78, Carl Hairston, the right end. Finals coming in now from the east. The Rams just prevail over the Giants 20-17. Rams extend their season record to, what, 11-3. They're not without problems internally.
And winning their division so easily could be a problem going into the playoffs for them.
Having that good record might mean they'll be on the home field. Handoff straight ahead, and the Eagles shut down the run at the 40. A gain of less than a yard. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 6 now. Carl Hairston fills on the run, makes the stop on Foreman. Detroit and St. Louis now tied 7-7 that game in the 3rd quarter.
3rd and 6 for the Vikings up there 40.
Counter play, and Foreman breaks open, gets the ball across the 45 out to the 48. It is a 1st down for the Vikings.
Good call. Watch this. Little sprint out. Comes right back up the middle. Good call because they were looking for the pass and had about 3rd and 5 situation, and they pick up the 1st down.
Hairston ran him down. Foreman goes out now. Robert Miller, a big back, comes in. He's the lone setback. Tarkinen has people set to either side. Reverse play. Running with the football is Ricky Young. Crashing into the Eagle defense. He gets across midfield and down to the 46-yard line of Philadelphia. Pick up a 5 yards on the play. 6 yards. Dennis Harrison made the stop.
Tarkington was leading that play, and he does his best. Watch this. When he leads a play, he can't find a soul to block, and amazing in the quarterback. He got right out in front of the play and didn't block anybody.
Little matador block.
Yeah.
Wave him on by. So the Vikings moving the ball now on their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Here's the handoff to Robert Miller, and the Eagles fail, knock him down for a loss on the play. Actually, no gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4. Charlie Johnson, the Vietnam veteran who plays middle guard for the Eagles, 65, comes off the center block of Mick Tingelhoff to make the hit. Tingelhoff at center for the Vikings. The guards are Goodrum and Wes Hamilton. Yerry and Myers are the tackles. Bob Tucker the tight end. Rashad and Sammy White the wide receivers. White has caught 2 touchdown passes. The first 2 scores for the Vikings in this game.
3rd and 3 for the Vikings at the Eagles 45.
Last time in this situation, he ran a draw play.
Swings it out this time to Robert Miller. It's a 1st down for the Vikings. Very tough yard as McCalloch made a hard hit. Lemaster did too, and also on the play for the Philadelphia Eagles was Ken Clark. But the Vikings move ahead again, and now they have the ball inside the 40-yard line of Philadelphia. It's 1st and 10 Vikings. 8:25 to play 3rd quarter. The clock is running, and the Eagles lead the game 27-14.
That was a good smart call. A little screen pass there, 3rd and 4 to pick up the 1st down.
The ace, Mr. Foreman is back in the game. He's sneaking down the middle, looking to get open. Here is a throw, and it's broken up. Going for the ball was Ahmad Rashad. The coverage was good. There's no penalty marker.
Boy, good play by Herman Edwards then to knock that ball away. Watch this. Little play action fake going back behind the quarterback. He has Rashad coming across the middle, and watch the play by Edwards. One of the best defensive plays we've seen by a defensive back.
Got there right on time, and that'll bring up now 10 yards to go. Second down and 10 for the Vikings just inside the Eagle 40-yard line. Tarkenton throws, and his tight end Tucker has the ball, loses it. Robert Miller catches it. It's a good play.
Looked like a forward lateral.
It really did look like a forward lateral. Of course, now under the new pass rules this year, consecutive receivers on the same team can touch the ball with no defender in between, and it's good. Watch.
Watch this. See if he laterals it or the ball is jarred loose.
I think it gets jarred. He gets popped pretty good. Wait now. Did you see something, Mr. Jorgensen?
I don't know. It could have been a forward lateral. What's
21?
Thank you very much.
Back to live action. Vikings go to the run, advance the ball inside the Eagle 20-yard line. Robert Miller made the carry, and Bill Berge made the hit. That missed extra point earlier could loom largely.
Certainly could. Look at this final.
Man alive. Cincinnati now winning, what, its second game?
Over a team is trying to get in the playoff.
Atlanta's record goes to 8-6 now in the NFC. Tarkenton pumps, looks either way, stands in, throws to the end zone. Good coverage, incomplete. He's looking at Rashad, and Herman Edwards was covering again.
Receiver on the White, White slipped. You see Fran look left, now he's coming back. He wants to throw to White and couldn't do it, so he went back to Rashad. Again, good coverage by Herman Edwards. Right with his receiver.
Herman's got a tough job today, though. That Rashad not only gets open, but if it's near him, he'll catch it. Ricky Young now goes out.
That's where White slipped. Right there.
Live action. Tarkenton looks, swings it out. Catching the ball is Foreman. And Chuck Foreman has the ball all the way down inside the 10-yard line. He is down to the 8. Bill Berge finally got him. Excuse me, Sonny.
Good blocking that time by Charlie Goodwin. Goodwin pulled out, led the screen, and then you see that patented type run of Chuck Foreman. Just as soon as he catches it, watch him wheel here, spin back to the inside. Breaks the tackle of LeMaster, and Berge has to come over. Keeps him from going in for the touchdown.
And so from the 8, the Vikings with 4 downs to take it in, and Foreman brings it closer, getting the ball down to the 5-yard line. Rather Ricky Young on that carry down to the 5.
Foreman, the ball carrier.
It was Chuck Foreman.
Yes, he followed the block of Young right in behind him.
Charlie Johnson on
the tough territory. This is where Fran likes to sprint out, look for Bob Tucker.
Tucker, the tight end, the line to the right, and that's just what he's doing. Here's Tarkenton on the rollout. Takes a look. Ricky Young, touchdown, Vikings. Ricky Young comes out of the backfield, gets a step on linebacker Reggie Wilkes, and the Vikings are right back in it with 5:13 to play in the third quarter.
Good little pass here. He had him isolated on Reggie Wilkes, the linebacker, and you see he just breaks the plane of the goal line.
So the Vikings go 64 yards in 13 plays, a 6-yard touchdown throw, Tarkenton's third scoring pass of the day. And now the extra point attempt. Danmeyer will kick it. Paul Krause will hold. That one might have been tipped, but it didn't get through. It's no, is it good? It is good now. And there's a penalty marker down. Let's see what we have.
See what they're going to do here.
Extra man on the field, and so the extra point is good, and the Vikings are back to within 6. It's 27-21. And we'll be back as the Eagles will take the kickoff in a moment.
3 unidentified 19-inch color TV pictures, each the best of its brand. Over 1,000 people saw them and picked the one with the best overall picture. They didn't pick America's biggest seller, Zenith, or the second biggest, RCA. Over 60% picked the 19-inch Sylvania Superset. Over 60%. We're not the biggest, but a lot of people think we've got the best picture. The Sylvania Superset.
As a State Farm agent, when people come into my office and sign an application for insurance, my job is just beginning. There's no sitting back and putting the file away.
Agent Vince Grammarosa talks about State Farm service.
We're continually reviewing their protection. We're continually talking to them. It's on a personal service basis from day to day, month to month. We never forget the people.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Bloomington, Minnesota. The Vikings, trailing 27-14 at the half, have now rallied back. Their first possession of the third quarter, they drove down the field. They've just scored. Here's the kickoff. Dan Meyer hits it down to Jumona. From the 3 goes to the 10, 15, 20. And Louis Giamona fights his way out across to the 25-yard line. And there the Eagles go on offense, first and 10. No longer can they play conservative football looking to run the clock because they don't want the Vikings to get the ball back. The missed extra point earlier could ultimately decide this game.
That's right, Don. They're going to have to come back out and put it up this time because they don't want to give the ball right back to the Vikings because the momentum has shifted in their favor.
San Francisco's coming back somewhat at New Orleans, trailing 17-13. It was 17-3. Wilbert Montgomery working hard, and Wilbert gets out across the 30. He's to the 32, a 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5, James White. Third-year tackle, 265 pounds, made the hit. The Cardinals now leading Detroit 14-7.
Cardinals playing a little better too, aren't they?
Get the Cardinals what you want them when you got them right off your schedule. They're ready to beat anybody.
2nd and 5 for the Eagles at their 31.
Jaworski, who had one of his most impressive first halves, might be pitching before long. At 2nd down and 5, Jaworski takes a look. Pump fake, home run ball. Going for it is Carmichael, broken up nicely. Tom Hannon, the free safety, came across to help out the cornerback, Bobby Bryant. Let's watch him again now, Sonny.
He throws into coverage here. He didn't see the Tommy Hannon coming over. Hannon should have had the interception. What just, almost. Made a good play on the ball. That time, I don't think Ron saw him. Didn't think he was going to get the double coverage. He thought he was going to have single coverage.
So now a big down for Jaworski and the Eagles. It is 3rd down and 5. Jaworski's going to run for the first down. He's got it. Down he goes as he picks up just enough for the first down. Ron Jaworski takes the slide at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10, Philadelphia.
Well, he just did get the first down, didn't he?
But there's a penalty marker down, Sonny, in the Eagle backfield.
I think we're going to get a holding call.
Vikings are very happy about something. They're cheering. Up a day.
Here's what kind of confidence they have in their defense. Instead of making it be 4th down and Philadelphia would have to kick the ball away, but they're going to take the penalty and give them 3rd down again just to keep backing them up.
In the defensive unit of the Minnesota Vikings, Carl Eller is the left end. Playing the right end right now is Mark Mullaney. Number 77, a good pass rusher. The tackles are James White and Doug Sutherland. Bryant and a rookie, John Turner, are at the corner. Hannon and Wise the safeties, but Wise comes up tight. Hannon's playing off. The cornerbacks play way off now on 3rd and forever, 3rd and 25. They go to the run. Wilbert Montgomery is tripped up as he crosses the 15-yard line. And again, a penalty marker is down, Sonny, in the Eagle backfield.
It is. They're going to penalize him again. Gee. They had something like 2 penalties in the first half against the Eagles. They're coming out here and they're losing their poise a little bit. And it's it definitely hurt them. They may refuse this penalty, make them kick it away. Number 76, offense, decline, 4th down.
Sizemore, 76, has got a big problem with Carl Eller. When the big guy wants to play, Eller's tough to hold out. He wants to play right now.
See that Philadelphia only had about 2, and they've 8 penalties now.
There is Kevin Miller, back deep for the Minnesota Vikings. Ready to punt for the Eagles. Michelle. Good punt by Michelle. Drives it downfield. Miller takes it back at his 39. Starts up. He's down at the 48-yard line, and here comes Tarkenton in the Minnesota Viking offense. Trailing 27-21. 3:47 left to play in the game. So this is going to be a good one. After the Eagles build up the big first half lead, the Vikings now come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we challenged hotshot Jimmy Powell to play the new Mattel Electronics basketball game. Jimmy doesn't know. Inside is a tiny thinking computer that plays like a whole team of pros. All right. All right. Jimmy's got the ball. The computer defends the bucket. He fakes left, dribbles right, shoots, blocked. Now, clock's running. He breaks inside. Powell scores. New Mattel Electronics pocket basketball with the built-in computer.
Hey, who's in there? Wherever you may roam, you'll find this near your home.
Oh, hi, it's me again, posting and tasting more posters. This time it's for the first annual Delco battery sale. AC Delco is making it possible for you to buy a Freedom battery at a special sale price.
Thanks, Delco.
Wherever you see this poster, look for it in your neighborhood for a great price on a battery you can trust. Thanks, Delco. Well, you'll be saying thanks, Delco, too.
Next Saturday on CBS, the Minnesota Vikings bump heads with the Detroit Lions in a black and blue division matchup. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
The Vikings have the ball back. This is Don Criqui with Sonny Jurgensen. Snow falling here at Minnesota. Tarkenton at the controls. Pitch back goes to Foreman. Running hard, running wide. The Eagles come over and throw him out of bounds. Coming across to make the play was Len Burnham. Dennis Harrison also on the play, 68. We have 3:41 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 27-21 Philadelphia, but the Vikings challenging.
Good field position here for them, too. They not much running room as Harrison comes over and chases him out of bounds into the snowbank.
They're alternating middle guards. Now Charlie Johnson goes out for the Eagles, and Ken Clark comes in. A rookie from Syracuse, number 71. He'll play over the nose of the center, Nick Tingelhoff. Tarkenton sends 2 wide receivers left. 2nd and 8. Tarkenton throws it downfield, and standing alone with the football, waiting for it, Ahmad Rashad. Mihalik makes the play, but the Vikings strike again, and now they're inside the Eagle 35-yard line.
Just an out pattern. You see, Edwards had a little trouble changing directions that time and coming back up and making the play.
First and 10 for the Vikings.
3:34 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Incomplete. Tarkinen pumps it down, tries to go to Ricky Young. And do we have another marker down?
We do have a marker down, and I think the call is going to be against Rashad for pushing off. Rashad came down and pushed into the cornerback, Bobby Howard.
Got the Vikings falling back, so it must be going against them.
Yes, it was an offensive pass interference call. He went down and tried to draw the penalty on Howard, but Howard just held his ground, and Rashad pushed off of him.
Bob Howard's played a strong game. You recall the earlier interception he had to stop a Viking drive. Berge also intercepted.
Number 28.
You got
offense,
it, Rashad.
Still first down.
Pushing off, so a 10-yard penalty. It'll make it first down and 20 now for Tarkenton and the Vikings at the 43-yard line of Philadelphia. 3:29 to play, third quarter. Philadelphia 27, Minnesota 21. Tarkenton scrambling, pumping, puts it downfield, and hits a guy who wasn't in the game.
Throw it over the bench.
Coach Grant still doesn't let those guys have anything but their little capes, does he? No foot warmers. Doesn't want them thinking about the cold.
It's all in the mind, huh?
That's it, yeah. Coach Grant's got himself pretty well covered, though.
He's allowed to. He's a coach.
Right. Tarkenton, tough play now. The Eagle defense digs in, second down and 20. Draw play, Foreman. Boy, he's a long yardage runner. And Foreman got back almost all the penalty yardage. Is going to bring up third down and about 11 now for Minnesota. Down to make the play was Ken Clark, the middle guard. He made the tackle for Philadelphia along with Reggie Wilkes.
Reggie Wilkes on the tackle.
Shara and Logan, the safeties for the Philadelphia Eagles. Herman Edwards and Bob Howard at the corners. Wilkes, Lemaster, Berge, and Mahalik back leading the line with a 3rd and 11 play coming up now for the Vikings.
3rd and 11 for the Vikings.
In the third quarter, and Tarkenton's already thrown the ball 37 times.
I'm going to come off on one of these. Here's a throw. Up for grabs, going to the tight end. Coming across to slap it down was Herman Edwards. Very nearly the 3rd interception of the day. So the Eagle defense, beneficiaries of the penalty call against the Vikings, would set them back to a 1st and 20. And Tarkenton's unable to convert for the first down from there on 3 downs. Now that Hunter comes out, the Eagles will get the ball back. This Viking challenge for the moment is stopped with 2:36 left to play in the third quarter.
For the Eagles, number 8, Coleman, the Viking punter.
Greg Coleman from Florida A&M. And there is John Shara from UCLA, back waiting. It'll be an angle punt. He'll be looking to put it in somewhere inside the 10 if he can. Here's the snap. Eagles set up coverage. Angled punt. Into the end zone. Touchback. Eagles get a break. They'll come out on offense 1st and 10 at their 20.
Into the end zone. The Eagles will start from their 20.
So the third quarter clock now shows 2 minutes and 29 seconds left to play. The score, Philadelphia 27, Minnesota 21. Eagles have the ball when we come back.
With great skill and discipline, you teach what's been kept a secret for centuries. And when the lesson has been taught and learned, now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
You got the time, we've got the beer, Miller beer.
The Stevens Estate. The $20,000 Mercedes looks right at home.
So does the $5,000 Granada Ghia, sometimes mistaken for a Mercedes. It's an American classic.
Meredith Manor. Mercedes styling looks at home.
And Granada's does too.
Hamilton House. Mercedes classic styling.
Granada's classic styling. And the Granada price makes it right at home at any home. The 79 Ford Granada at your Ford dealer.
Philadelphia 27, Minnesota 21. with 2:29 left to play and a bitter cold day here in Bloomington, Minnesota. Temperatures in the low teens now. Snow flurries picking up. Wind is gusting, not that strong, about 7 miles an hour. It was at the outset of the game. The field is frozen. It's a slippery track. And Jaworski goes to set up and then gives off quickly to Hogan, or rather to Montgomery, who gets ahead to the 25-yard line. Wilbert Montgomery with excellent acceleration, nearing a 1,000-yard season.
I think that run just made him 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards.
Yard short.
A yard short? Well, they should give him 6 on that. They only gave him 5.
Jeff Seaman made the knockdown, middle linebacker along with Mark Mullaney. Right back to Wilbert Montgomery. That was the same move he put on to run 36 yards for a touchdown. Going right, then cutting back against the pursuit. And Wilbert Montgomery is the second man in Eagles history to rush for 1,000 yards in a season. The last to do it back in 1949, Steve Van Buren.
Right.
When did you go to the Eagles?
1957.
First and 10 for the Eagles at their 33.
57 through 63.
Washington 64
through 74.
8 years, 18 years. Here is Montgomery cutting back again. Vikings get mean with him this time and bash him down on that hard, cold ground. Fred McNeil, 54 on the hit, along with Mark Mullaney.
Take a look, watch this from ground level. You see, this is what Montgomery does best. That's cutting back against that grain. This time he didn't get away with it because the pursuit caught up with him.
Wilbert Montgomery, a 195-pound running back out of Abilene Christian. In his second year, scored 76 touchdowns in college, an NCAA record that still stands. Came to the Philadelphia Eagles as a 6th-round draft choice last year. Swing pass goes to Montgomery. And Wilbert Montgomery gets out to the 38-yard line, and the Vikings treating him rudely when he get a hold of him, but they're getting a hold of him downfield. He got 6 on that one. McNeil and Mullaney got him. We'll watch it again.
Montgomery's been a busy man. He just carried the ball 3 straight times. Now they swing him out of the backfield and a little swing pass with lineman out in front of him. Good play by Fred McNeil. And
that was the final play of the third quarter as the gun sounds. With the score, the Philadelphia Eagles 27, the Minnesota Vikings 21. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Wednesday, the Crosbys and some family friends recall magical holiday moments. Bing Crosby, the Christmas year. Wednesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Dick Vermeil and his Philadelphia Eagles looking at a 3rd down and 3 play coming up for their offense. Bud Grant and his Minnesota Vikings looking at a scoreboard that reads Eagles 27, Vikings 21. And Green Bay won earlier today, beating Tampa Bay 17-7. Montgomery runs, and he didn't get there. He worked and tried, but the Vikings shut it down. They keyed on him. Sutherland, 69, the first man to hit him. So now Michel comes out to punt the ball back to the Vikings as we are in the first minute of the fourth quarter.
Have to give it back again. They're going to have to get some offense generated somehow. You can't keep giving the ball to Fran Tarkington in good field position. Like they'd like to block.
Michel hits the ball well. Miller fields it over the shoulder, back at his 25, looks for a place to run. Doesn't find one. Terry Tottolo, UCLA linebacker, 58, down covering on special teams for the Eagles. So there is a pause in the action. 14 minutes, 17 seconds left to play in the game. The Vikings trailing by 6 will be back with the ball when we come back.
Sunday, CTV's most popular show, 60 Minutes. Then on All in the Family, Archie's bar gets hit with some bogus money. And Vera gets ESP on Alice. Then Kaz takes a break with a special lady. And the drama heats up on Dallas. Exciting comedy and drama Sunday at 7, 6 Central and Mountain Time.
With Sonny Jurgensen, this is Don Criqui back at Bloomington, Minnesota, Metropolitan Stadium. That's what our score is as the Vikings have the ball back, trailing by 6, 27-21. Houston has gone out in front of Houston 3-0 at the on a Roy Girella field goal. Seattle, which might be a playoff team, in fact, could win the AFC West, beating Cleveland 14-0 at the Kingdome in Seattle. And a big score in from Irving, Texas, the New England Patriots, a touchdown underdog beating Dallas 7-3. The Viking offense 1st and 10 at their 27-yard line. Tarkinen, who's going to put up maybe his 50 passes before this game is over, throwing on the run and throwing it away.
Very wisely. He wanted to come out in the flat to Young, but Young was covered, and he took it back down and threw it over the bench.
Philadelphia Eagles historically 0-6 against the Vikings. They have never beaten a Minnesota Viking team. The last time they played in 1976, Minnesota won 31-12. Now St. Louis has gone back ahead of Detroit at Busch Stadium, 21-14. Tarkinen goes to the draw, and the good defensive play is made by the middle guard of the Philadelphia Eagles. He threw him off, and then Verby came down and made the tackle. So the gain is only about to the 27-yard line as Foreman goes back to the Viking huddle. 13:50 left to play in the game. Clock running. Ron Jaworski so far has passed 18 times, 11 completions, no interceptions, 204 yards, and 3 touchdowns. We'll give you Tarkinen's numbers in just a moment as he pumps and throws, and did the man get it? It looks like he did. Reception is made by Sammy White, wide receiver from Grambling, right off the top of the turf. Randy Logan was covering. Tarkinen puts it in low, away from the defense, and Sammy White, who caught 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter, makes a big reception for the Vikings.
Well, watch how he catches this ball. He actually goes back for it and catches it behind him, right on the ground.
1st and 10 for the Vikings at their 44.
The crowd enthusiasm builds now as the Vikings, trailing by 6, go with a first down. Tarkinen takes a look. Now they're starting to run him down. Harrison gets it off. Forces Tarkinen to throw early, incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Vikings, their 44-yard line. Sonny?
Tarkenton's now thrown the ball 41 times. He's 21 for 41 for 198 yards.
He's been intercepted twice and has thrown for 2 touchdowns, or 3 touchdowns. Do the one to Ricky Young, a little swing pass that Young took in for the only score of the second half. This was a 27-14 game, Philadelphia at the half. It's now 27-21 in the fourth quarter. Eagle defense has been on the field a long time. Down over the nose of the center is Ken Clark. He's the middle guard, a very key person in the Eagle 3-4 defense. They come with a blitz. LeMaster starts to come, putting pressure on Tarkinen. Intercepted! picked off by the strong safety Randy Logan of the Eagles. And for a third time and a 25th time this season, Fran Tarkenton is intercepted. And so the Eagles now get the ball back on the interception on the Vikings side of the field.
Well, Logan really makes a good play here, coming right in front of White. He read the play perfectly and stops the drive.
Cast iron where you need it for strength and accuracy. Hardened gears and ball-bearing construction for long life and dependability. Heavy-duty motors with power to spare. Rockwell builds tools that way for a reason. Because a power tool is only as good as the job it can do and just how long it can do it. Rockwell, your work can't afford anything less.
We could tell you that Pioneer's PL518 probably offers today's best value in a direct drive turntable. We could tell you its tone arm rides on 10 times the conventional number of ball bearings for smoother tracking, or that its direct drive motor all but eliminates wow and flutter. But nothing we tell you will be as convincing as this. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
Only 3 coaches in the history of the National Football League have had better winning records. John Madden is the best of all in percentages won, over 74% at Oakland. Don Shula's number 2, Vince Lombardi 3, and that man to the left, Bud Grant, is number 4. His Vikings with a record of 114, 48, and 5 in his 12 years here at Minnesota. But the Vikings have a big problem now. A third interception of Tarkenton. Philadelphia with the ball at the Viking 46, and the Eagles leading 27-21. Here's a throw. Almost right back to the to the Vikings as Tom Hannon had a play on the ball. Jaworski and the Eagle offense have not turned the ball over in their last 2 games.
It's like Hannon got hurt. You know what this presents now? Paul Krause with an opportunity to, he trails what, Evansville by 1. He has 78 career interceptions, and he hasn't had much opportunity to play this year. And if he does get in, he'll get a chance to maybe make that 79th.
Hannon's feet slipped out from under him. He hit the small of his back hard on this frozen field, and we'll be back in a moment.
When you break horses for a living and you do it wrong, they can break you first. But when you do it right, you can turn a terrified animal into a horse a man can count on. And now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
Across the sea from Germany comes Ford Fiesta, Wundercar, a record-breaking sales success throughout Europe with front-wheel drive and Michelin steel belted radials for sure-footed traction. Rack and pinion steering for direct response, quick responsive acceleration, and great EPA mileage estimates. Fiesta, backed by Ford Motor Company. Sold and serviced by over 5,000 Ford Fiesta dealers coast to coast. Ford Fiesta.
Coming next, see top touring pros in the Mixed Team Championship of Golf. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
27-21 on a slippery field, as you'll see evidenced right here. Harold Carmichael.
Gee. Gives you an idea of the conditions.
Jaworski drops to throw. Hannon, the free safety's out of the game. Free football. They cannot intercept. The ball was tipped. Mark Mullaney got a hand on the ball, and trying his very best to intercept was Matt Blair, but he couldn't get to the football. That brings up 3rd and 10 now. Watch it again.
Yeah, Mullaney gets right in front of him. I'm not sure where he was going with that ball.
Tom Hannon bruised his back, the free safety, second-year man from Michigan State. He is out of the game right now, the veteran Paul Krause. Now Hannon's right back in. Krause was in for a play. 3rd and 10 Eagles. They lead 27-21, 12:32 left to play in the game. Kane is open, but lost his footing as he tried to turn out at the ball. And so the Eagles go to the punt again. Jaworski is down. I think more out of disappointment he didn't hit it. He's up. Mulaney hit him just after he released the ball. Payne had a play on the football. It was well thrown, but when he made that last cut, he lost his footing. We're going to see more and more of that, I think, Sonny. Look at the
I think so. I think the field's getting worse all the time.
The Patriots, 10-3 over Dallas. Cowboys a touchdown favorite. The Vikings went hard for the block. They did not get it, and the punt goes out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. So the Eagles get the big play from punter Mike Michel. An all-out rush by the Minnesota Vikings just misses getting to the football. Michel drills it out of bounds inside the Viking 5. So with 12:20 left to play in the game, Minnesota comes out on offense with a long way to go to get the equalizing touchdown.
This really puts Tarkenton back in a hole, doesn't it? Working out of his own end zone.
He's got him huddled up in the end zone. They'll break and go to scrimmage from the 3-yard line. Miami beating Washington today 16-0. Jets beating Baltimore 24-16. Tarkenton throwing from the end zone, loops it downfield. Man was covered, he threw the ball away. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 3.
He didn't want to take any chances of getting sacked back there, realizing he's only trailing by 6 points.
Here's another final in. The Kansas City Chiefs hold on, beat the Buffalo Bills 14-10. The clock is stopped here in the 4th quarter, 12:15 to play on the incompletion. Sammy White comes out wide to the left. Ahmad Rashad also on the left flank. Tarkenton, quick screen, throws to White. Weaving ahead, Sammy White cuts back into the middle, gets some blocks. White, who can fly, almost broke it. He did get a 1st down. A gambling play, and White, when he saw the sideline cordoned off, goes right back into the heart of the field, right through the defense.
Well, he does. He comes right back into a crowd of people after he makes the reception wide. Watch this as he starts up the field. Wanted to go outside, but here he starts ducking some green helmets.
Where is he? There he goes.
There he goes.
Back to live action now on 1st and 10. Tarkenton takes another look, loops the ball over to Ricky Young, and a big play from behind as a great big eagle came swooping in.
Dennis Harrison
that's a great
almost
big eagle.
got his hand on the thing.
6'8", 275.
Targeting his pass complete to Ricky Young.
Seattle putting a hurting on Cleveland.
Dennis Harrison on the
21-0. Seattle will extend its record to 8-6 with a victory today, and will be tied with either Oakland or Denver for 2nd place, depending on the outcome of the Oakland-Denver meeting later. Clock running. We're inside 11 minutes to play now. 10:58 left to go in the game. Vikings trailing 27-21. Tarkenton pumps and throws again. Rashad takes the pass. LeMaster catches him, throws him down along with Harrison.
See how careful he was with his footing then. Obviously getting much worse. Watch how careful he is. Yes, moving. Looks like a little dance step, huh? Cha-cha-cha.
Again, while we have a moment, very happy to report the continued progress to good health of Philadelphia Eagles owner Leonard Toews. Watching the game back in Philadelphia and feeling much better. Everyone sends Lenny Toews their best. He's got to be thrilled about this one so far. Here's Tarkenton standing in, pumping the ball. It's broken up by Logan. Good block by Logan. Strong safety on the tight end, and Logan reached in and knocked it down.
An indication right then of why Fran Tarkenton has 25 interceptions. The man was covered, and he felt that he could beat the defense with the ball, and he threw it even though the man was covered.
And that brings up 4th down for the Vikings, so they have to punt the ball as you watch the breakup on replay. Duke Struck, our director here today at Bloomington, Minnesota. Tom O'Neill, our producer. As we have 10-10 left to play in the game, the Eagles leading by 6. They'll get the ball back now on a punt. Here's the snap. Good hit by Coleman. Shara fields it. And perfect special teams coverage by Harry Washington, number 80. He came down, was right there as Shara took the ball, but the Eagles have the football now with 10:02 left to play in the game. The ball at their 47-yard line. So stay with us. This one's going down to the wire. We'll be back in a moment.
If this were your home, that delivery man could sue you for everything you've got. And if most of your liability coverage was on your car instead of your home, you'd be in big trouble. That's why Continental invented the PCP car and home policy. It gives the same high liability coverage on your car and your home. That's more protection for your money. And one more reason why nobody spells protection like the Continental insurance companies.
This is no ordinary industrial furnace. It belongs to the first plant of its kind in America that traps waste gases and burns them as boiler fuel. The system was built by Phillips Petroleum, so we can take what would have been air pollution and use it for power, turning potential air pollution into energy while we make fine products for your car. That's performance. From Phillips Petroleum, the performance company.
Here we are back at Bloomington, Minnesota. This distinguished gentleman is Sonny Jorgensen, the former record holder.
Former. Don't keep bringing that up.
The record fell today, but right now we've got a lot of football to go. 10 minutes and 2 seconds left to go. A new quarterback in the game. Apparently Jaworski was shaken up. Worse than was indicated by the way he ran off the field. Here is Walton in the game. John Walton, strong-arm quarterback. He gives to Wilbert Montgomery, and you can be sure that is the Eagle game plan right now. Run that football, run that clock. Montgomery gets 5. He has become a 1,000-yard rusher for the Eagles today. Going over the 1,000-yard mark.
Word on Jaworski is that he has a bruised hand.
Before he bruised it, he played another superior football game. Great touchdown passes, no interception. Second down and actually 4 6-yard gains for Montgomery. This is tough for Walton, though, isn't it? Somebody to come in on a cold day like this.
Just thinking the same thing, boy. You're trying to get a feel of the game, and it's going to help if his team can move the ball on the ground to let him get a little feel for it, because especially tough under the conditions like this.
Eagles are doing that as Hogan carries, moving out behind the left side of the offensive line of Philadelphia. And the first down carry advances the ball inside the 40-yard line of the Vikings. Bill Wise and Tom Hannon, the safeties, were on the stop.
The Eagles could get down here and get a score here, any type of score, even a field goal.
That's right. That would, right now, a touchdown would tie the game for the Vikings, and of course an extra point would win it. But the Vikings right now are not in position to score. The Eagles have the ball, and they're moving it with the run. They go back to Wilbert Montgomery. He takes the ball down to the 37. And most importantly at this point for Philadelphia, the clock is running. 8:30 left to go in the game and running.
Let's watch the blocking of Osborne here, and Walters and Lucan. They kind of caught up in a hurry with Osborne, didn't they?
Yeah, Osborne has played some pretty good football, though, coming into the breach when one of the best players in the Eagle team, Keith Crefley, went out with an injury, a rib injury that had him on injured reserve. He'll not play again this season. Walton right back to the run, right back to Hogan, nothing there. They're going to run him back over to Edina. He's the next town. Matt Blair was on the stop along with Tom Hannon.
You see right here, he gets no place to go at all, and Hannon comes up and fills, and along with Blair. Osborne going out. Guess they're going with 3 wide receivers now because of third and long situation. See if Walton puts it up.
Walton's going to throw for the first time. He puts it up hard. Hogan diving for the ball, can't hold on third down, and so Michelle and the Eagle punting unit comes back out. 7:19 left to play in the game.
Yeah, this is tough. I don't think that Walton had time to warm up, and you saw that throw. He didn't even take his stride in delivering the football.
Here's a guy that's played a big game for the Eagles from Stanford University, Mike Michel, the punter. They're putting pressure on him every time. Last time you recall, he hit it out of bounds inside the 5. This time, he hits one that's going to hop out. And again, Michel does his job well. Gets it out of bounds at the 10-yard line and leaves the Vikings 90 yards of cold, frozen field to cover to tie this game. So the clock is stopped with 7 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the game. And the Eagles holding to a 6-point lead.
You can tell by their style of play. They're now. And you can tell by the way they're getting there. They're now. The Futura is now.
There's a distinctive personal car for now, the 79 Futura, with tomorrow's look right now, space efficiency for now, high mileage ratings that are now, and a sticker price that says, why wait?
The future isn't someday, it's now.
The Futura is now.
Fairmont Futura at your Ford dealers.
For those parents who realize that $600 isn't too much to spend to expand their child's world, Radio Shack has the perfect gift. The TRS-80 computer, the most significant investment a parent can make. Programs for your child's education or your business, finance, and home use. Let your children discover tomorrow's technology today. The TRS-80, the biggest name in little computers. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Wednesday, the Crosbys and some family friends recall magical holiday moments. Bing Crosby, the Christmas Year. Wednesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Bing Crosby Christmas Years will be coming up, and we have a Christmas setting here in Bloomington, Minnesota. A snow-filled December day. And the Minnesota Vikings with the pressure on. Harkinen drops to throw. Footing's tough, gets it away, and Tucker, his tight end, goes up and makes a fine reception. Eagle defenders playing way back. They don't want to get burned with the long one. Lemaster comes up and makes the hit on the tight end.
Tucker made a good catch in going up and pulling that down because that thing ricochets off his hand. He could have been intercepted. Watch this, the ball's thrown a little high for him.
Francis had a skate a little there.
Second and 2 for the Vikings.
Yes, you saw him lose his footing as he was getting ready to deliver.
Harkinen goes right back. Ricky Young tries the middle of the Eagle defense. Nothing there. Bill Berge fills. And the clock continues to run. 6:25 left to play in the game and running. Eagles 27, Vikings 21. Seattle's putting Cleveland away.
23. That's an exciting football team.
Oh, man, that Zorn leaves the house thrown on Sunday morning.
3rd and 1 for the Vikings at their 19.
2 tight ends in the game now, and 3rd and less than a yard for the Vikings. Foreman carries. Looks like he got it.
Chuck Foreman, the ball carrier.
Chuck Foreman gets the ball out across the 20.
Tough first down. Clock running down to 5:50 now.
And McMaster on the tackle.
It does become a factor, doesn't it?
That field is a factor. Now that's like an ice rink. Very difficult for the cuts. The wide receivers who are running those smooth gliding patterns early. We haven't seen that lately. Harkinen takes a look. Rashad turns out. Herman Edwards almost got one.
Almost got one. He just misplayed the ball. But if Rashad catches it after that, he scores.
That's right.
Because he overran the ball.
So on first down, you're in a hole when you miss it, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now.
Boy, he almost came away with that thing.
49 pass attempts by Fran Tarkenton so far in the game. He's going to hit 50, probably right now.
2nd and 10 for the Vikings at their 22.
And he's completed 25 of 49. 3 interceptions, 3 touchdown throws. Tried to cross him up, goes with the draw. Short gain, 3rd and 8. Carl Hairston, 78 on the stop for the Eagles.
Hairston and Mihalik on the
clock still running. They need to taking their time, aren't they?
Yes, sir. It's down to 5 minutes to go now. 5 minutes left in the game. 4:58. Vikings with the ball, trailing 27 to 21.
3rd and 8 for the Vikings at their 24.
Tarkenton's numbers. Put that arm in a whirlpool. Steps in, drills it hard. Man is open. Sammy White. Not done yet. And White is out to the 44-yard line. Herman Edwards finally brings him down, so the Vikings come up with the big gainer. And we've got a long way to go.
Yes, he had a crossing pattern underneath the zone drops. Really found a big opening in there. He almost broke this. Edwards makes the tackle. Big first down for the Vikings.
A very big first down as the ball is advanced almost to the 45-yard line of Minnesota, 1st and 10. Foreman is in the backfield, a line behind Tarkenton. Wide to either side are Rashad and White. 27-21 Eagles, 4th quarter. Handoff, Foreman. Berge gets it, knocks him down to the 47. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Clock runs, 3:55 to go. Here's a final in from St. Louis. The Cardinals win their 5th game. 21-14 over Detroit. The team, the Vikings, will be going to play at Pontiac, Michigan next Saturday, a game you'll see here on CBS. Here as we are with the live action in the 4th quarter, 3 minutes and 35 seconds left to play. The Vikings trailing by 6 as Tarkenton drops to throw, looks long. Dumps it off to Foreman. He eludes Wilkes, but Wilkes recovers, knocks him down, a gain of only a yard. 3rd and 7.
There again was an example of Tarkenton throwing the ball. Even though the man was covered, he had confidence that he could get the ball to Foreman. He dumped it off to him, and Foreman picks up a couple of yards. Some discussion here, maybe a penalty.
That is the case, and it is against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, a very costly one, too.
Boy, I tell you, this is some football game.
Oh, big one.
All the way down to the Eagle 36-yard line. Here's the call.
Personal foul, blow to the head, number 66, defense, first down.
Personal foul, blow to the head. I think it was the number 66 he called, or 60. Might have been Berge. He can give you a blow to the head, all right. Take the head right off. So the Vikings, beneficiaries of a big penalty, trailing by 6. Tarkenton looks, timing pattern in the flat, and that would have been 6 points for the Eagles as Herman Edwards came up full speed, had his hands on the ball, could not hold on. He would have crossed the goal line with nobody within 30 yards of him.
Oh, is this close? Take a look how close he comes to breaking this game open. Going the other way with it.
He was going full speed.
That's the kind when you've thrown that thing, you want to put a string on it and pull it back to you.
That brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings, 36-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. The wide receivers again deploy to the left as Young goes in motion right. Tarkenton, who's thrown over 50 times, looks, big rush, swings it out to Foreman, loses his footing, and he's down for no gain, maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 36-yard line of Philadelphia. And the clock runs, it's down to 3 minutes.
Big play here. They got to decide what they're going to do on 4th down. They might even maybe thinking of going 2 plays here. Run one here and pick it up on 4th down. Don't imagine they'll kick it away or even go for the field goal.
Other clock you see ticking off is the 30 seconds that the offensive team has allotted between plays to get the ball in play. Tarkenton, 3rd down and almost 10. On the sprint out, takes a look, pumps it up, lets her go long. Defense is there, receiver is there, a clean breakup in the end zone. It's 4th down Vikings. As the Philadelphia Eagles left side cornerback Bob Howard, the free safety John Shara combined on one of the most important defensive plays of this game for Philadelphia.
Yes, it was. Excellent play. Take a look at it. He sprints out. White ran a double move. He faked like he was going out. Fran lost his footing a little bit. He makes an accurate throw, but Howard, you see the good coverage there. 4th down.
Tried to turn in. Shara had the middle cordoned off, and then Bob Howard breaks the play up. 4th down and 10 for the Vikings. They're going forward from scrimmage. Tarkenton looks, pumps, reloads, looks to run. Now he throws. Man is open. Tucker. It's a 1st down, and Tucker's down to the 11-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 11-yard line of Philadelphia on a 4th and 10 play with the football game on the line. Tarkenton delivers it to Tucker for a Viking first down.
Big play here. Fran ran around back and gave himself some time, and Tucker just kept running a crossing pattern, ran on across the field. Fran delivered it to him. We're down to 2 minutes.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer will
Oh, Brown. What's all this? Compliments of the gentleman at the bar, sir.
That is no gentleman. That's Tom Grant. Tom, I don't believe it.
What's it been, 5 years?
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Somebody's got to say it, you two. Here's to good friends.
All right.
Introducing a whole new breed of Mustang. The all-new 79 Mustang from Ford. With a new aerodynamic design, precise handling, and Mustang performance from options of V6, V8, even a turbocharged engine. Mustang for 79, the new breed in 2-door and 3-door models. Capture one at your Ford dealer now.
The Minnesota Vikings, a championship caliber team, driving from their 10-yard line. On 4th and 10, they get the big play for the first down. And now they have the ball spotted at the Eagle 10. So it'll be 1st and goal from the Eagle 10, with Philadelphia leading the game 27-21 and 2 minutes left to play. Tarkenton, hands off. Miller turning wide. Penalty marker comes in from off the play. A penalty marker is thrown in as Miller gets down to the 5.
I think it's going to be against the Vikings.
Holding against the Vikings. So from the 10, they go to the 20.
Ooh, what a big break that is for Philadelphia.
1:55 left to play. The Eagles leading 27-14 at the half. Have not scored in the second half. Their defense has been on the field almost all the time. It's played superior football.
Number 73, offense, still first
Ron
down.
Yeri, an all-pro tackle, is called for the hold. They were running on his side, the right side.
That's right. He was just trying to keep Harrison from getting into the play. To slant that way. See what Fran's going to come up with here.
1:55 left to play. Eagles 27, Vikings 21. 1st and goal from the 20 of Philadelphia. Tarkenton, pump fakes, looks into the end zone, lets her rip. Touchdown Eagles! Ahmad Rashad goes up over 2 defenders. Touchdown Vikings. Vikings score the touchdown over Herman Edwards, and now the game is tied at 27.
What a great catch that was. He just went up and stole the football. Again, a double move. Again, throwing the ball, even though the people are covered. And watch this. Both people were there. Shar was there, Edwards there. But Rashad comes down with the football.
But there's 1 minute and 49 seconds left on the clock, so the Eagles on the subsequent kickoff after this extra point attempt could conceivably, very conceivably, get in range for a field goal attempt. Dan Meyer, the extra point. Booms it through. The Vikings take the lead 28-27. So we'll be back at Metropolitan Stadium as we're going to go right down to the final gun on this one.
Oh, no, he's home.
A kiss goodbye?
You must go. And besides, your beard, it's rough.
And I'll shave.
There's no time.
I'll use this Rise with 3 softeners. Rise will start to soak and soften my whiskers in no time. See? Rise helps me get a close shave quick.
You're smooth, Eddie. So quick. Father, how about a close shave?
Rise for a quick, close shave.
It's lightweight. It's portable. It's virtually indestructible. You can hammer on it, saw on it, sand on it, paint on it, drive a screw on it, cut a pipe on it, plane a door on it, fix a picture on it, or a wheelbarrow, or a chair, or a bicycle. You can even have your lunch on it. The incredible Black & Decker Workmate. When America has a job to do, it reaches for Black & Decker.
28-27, the Vikings go 90 yards with the pressure on. They take the lead now with 1:49 left. Dan Meyer kicks off a high spinner. 25, Wilbert Montgomery breaks out to the 38-yard line. And with 1:42 left to play, the Eagles go on offense. Let's see if Jaworski comes out to quarterback the team. He is. Here comes Ron Jaworski back out.
They have their 3 timeouts.
What a game. The temperature dropping down close to 10 degrees now. The field is frozen. Wind 7 miles an hour has not seemed to affect the passing game too much, but the cold certainly has. It's getting more and more difficult to run the patterns on a frozen field and more difficult to hold on to the ball. First and 10 Eagles, Jaworski at quarterback. He eludes Carl Eller and hits Hogan, but there's a loss on the play of a yard. Carl Eller playing the big game, and the clock is running. 1:27 left to go. Phil Wise comes up on the play. He made the hit for the loss. Jaworski sets his team down now as we go back to live action without a huddle. 1:16 left to go as you see the clock ticking down. He has time. Mulaney gets it. The Vikings come thundering through with the big pass rush and sack Ron Jaworski with 1:07 left to play. So right now, as you watch it on the replay, the Eagles signal a timeout with 1:07 left.
I like pickles, but they don't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
I like pizza, but it doesn't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
Digel's special combination of antacid and anti-gas ingredients gives you fast, gentle relief from acid indigestion, heartburn, and gas in just minutes.
I like hot dogs, but they don't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
Shh, here they come.
This year, you want to give your family a holiday to remember.
It's a puppy! It's a puppy!
That's why you should remember Beneficial. Because Beneficial wants to lend you the full amount you have in mind to give your family all the good things they deserve.
I love Santa.
Me too.
Phone Beneficial for your holiday loan today.
28-27, Minnesota over Philadelphia. Ron Jaworski with 3rd down and almost 24 to go for the first down. The ball spotted back inside the Eagles' 30-yard line. Final from New Orleans. Saints beat the 49ers. 3rd and 23 for Jaworski and the Eagles. They need to get in field goal range. The clock shows 1:07 to play. And the Vikings are generating the championship rush right now. Here they come again. Carl Eller. Jaworski gets it away to Hogan. He can't hold on. Mulaney makes the hit, and this could be the final play of the football game for Philadelphia. 4th down, 23. And we thank these gentlemen for their fine work. Our producer, Tom O'Neill. Our director, Duke Struck, and the rest of our CBS crew here at Metropolitan Stadium. To thank our spotter, Ron Cadwell, and our statistician, Peter Spokes.
A tough loss. Tough loss for Philadelphia. It has to come down to the thing that's plagued them throughout the year, special teams, kicking game.
Green Bay has won, and so the Vikings, if they hold on to win this game, would still be tied for the NFC Central lead. Jaworski rolls out away from the rush. Fires. First down! The ball is caught by Charlie Smith for a first down. And there's 51 seconds on the clock. That was a 4th and 23 play. And Jaworski threw another fastball, and Charlie Smith caught it for a first down.
By 1 yard, too. Watch this. Just by 1 yard.
It absolutely silences this sold-out stadium.
Oh, what a play.
This is an incredible football game.
Good rush this time. Had an excellent rush on him, and he comes out of the pocket. You see White going through, Mulaney spinning outside. This gives him the time. affords him the time to throw that thing, and they just pick up the first down. It's not over yet.
It is not over yet. As Jaworski and the Eagle offense have 51 seconds with which to work, they have 1 timeout remaining. That was a 4th and 23 play, and Ron Jaworski threw a strike to Charlie Smith for a first down. That would have been it. But now it's going to be alive right on through. 51 seconds.
You only have 1 timeout left too, Don, which is going to be a factor here of what type of plays you call.
Of course, from Largo, Florida, the Mixed Team Golf Championships coming up immediately following this game on CBS. Ron Jaworski goes back to the huddle. He's not been intercepted all day. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns. Right now, his team trails by a point, 28-27. Michelle, forced into place-kicking duties because of the injury to Mickemeyer, has not tried a field goal this season.
Hasn't even attempted one?
Hasn't even attempted one. Jaworski drops, gets some time, pump fakes, lets her rip. Tipped away from Wilbert Montgomery.
Good thing he hummed that one because it could have been intercepted.
Well, he can hum it too, can he?
Oh, what an arm.
Eagles had a couple of men running deep patterns the clock shows. You see 45 seconds left to play. 2nd and 10. After the lead. Somewhere soon. Maybe right now. They're going to try to get it to Harold Carmichael. They have a linebacker right on his nose, Matt Blair. They have a safety playing way off him. They'll be at least double covering him. Jaworski running away from the pursuit. Looks. Goes on the run. Incomplete.
Oh.
3rd down and 10.
White almost came, Smith almost came up with that football, didn't he?
Almost.
Ware thought he should have had an interception.
.35 seconds left to play now. 28-27, Minnesota. 3rd and 10 for the Eagles as Mullaney goes out of the game right now. And big Jim Marshall in his 19th year comes in. They want fresh troops to go after Jaworski. He looks, he throws, incomplete. Viking defense with 5 defensive backs in had the field sectioned off, and there was no room to go be open.
They're really playing way off, and he's just running around trying to afford some time and find an open receiver. And he just ended up having to throw the thing away, so they face another 4th down play coming up.
Tell you come down to look at this game. There's been so many great plays, so many spectacular plays. You have to look, of course, to the 4th down. Pass play. Harkin into Tucker. Down to the 10. Vikings took it in. Extra point went ahead. And then the 4th down and 23 play. Jaworski throwing a strike on the line to Charlie Smith for a first down. But now the Eagles game comes down to another single play. This is 4th and 10 Philadelphia. They must get the first down here with 26 seconds left. Jaworski throws. Intercepted. Matt Blair. And he brings it back out across the 40-yard line. And the Vikings will win the football game despite a brilliant, gallant effort by the Philadelphia Eagles. The Vikings rallying back from a 27-14 halftime deficit, rallying 90 yards downfield. Their last possession of the ball with time running out. And with 17 seconds left, the first turnover of the day by the Eagles goes to Matt Blair of the Vikings. And Minnesota has the football.
Oh, what a tough loss this is. Great win for the Vikings, but a tough loss for Philadelphia.
Well, they'll still come out of this 8-6 with 2 games at home between now and season's end. Dallas next week, then the Giants. And, of course, the Vikings with a win stay in a tie for first place with the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Central Division. Yeah, I would suspect that there will be, Tarkin won't be thinking handoff here after what the Eagles did to the Giants.
Second in the box area.
The Eagles are allotted their final timeout. They stop the clock with 14 seconds to play. Sonny?
Yes, they just kind of hoping for a bad exchange between Tarkenton and Tingelhoff.
They've been doing it together for about 50 years. It's going to be unlikely you'll get one.
That's right, but the Eagles got to believe, because the
That's
same thing
right.
happened against New York, and
Hey,
Edwards
we were
came
there.
away with the ball.
Bud Grant's almost ready to smile over this one.
He should. What they get? Didn't they tie Green Bay last week with 10 seconds to
Yeah.
go in the game, and they come back this week in the last minute?
Telling you. The Vikings break the huddle on what will probably be the final play of the game as they rally from behind with 2 second-half touchdowns to win. And the clock ticks off as the Eagles are helpless to stop it, out of timeouts. That will be it. A great come-from-behind victory for the Vikings after a spectacular effort by the Philadelphia Eagles. The final score, Minnesota 28, Philadelphia 27. Now this is Don Criqui for Sonny Jurgensen saying goodbye from Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota. Coming up next, we'll join the final round of this year's Mixed Team Golf Championship from Largo, Florida. That's coming up next, right here on CBS. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.